Hello everyone, Scorm here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited to present you with a video that I teased was coming up, and I couldn't be happier to say that today we will be covering my absolute favorite character in the game, Punisher, in his Cosmic Ghost Rider uniform. His penultimate form. And as you can see, the build is already quite optimized. The only thing I'm missing is critical damage, and that has me right now kind of just biding my time with him until I can max that out and figure out where I want to take him after that, because right now the build isn't quite as optimized as I would like. As you can see, I have physical attack HP on my Uru, or not, rather my ISOs, not my Uru, my ISOs, and that might not be optimal, and it might be, because as you can see, he has quite a decent HP pool for a base level 70 non-native character. That's not bad. That's around Cable's HP pool. It's definitely not bad. But once I max out the crit damage, I can figure out truly where I want to take him, because as you can see, also I don't have all his Uru in place. So I really want to get the Moon Girl uniform as quick as possible so that we can figure these things out. He has a type enhancement rank 5 because, of course, I always try to max out my absolute favorite characters as far as I can take them, and I always hit a wall with type enhancement, as most of us do. ISO set, as we saw earlier, is Power of Angry Hulk, because it gives Punisher attack speed that he needs very, very much. We're rocking with a CTP of Rage. You know, Mr. Whale here always has CTPs of Rage to throw around, and of course I was going to give a Rage to my favorite character. The uniform options right now are only the dodge options, which are Deadpool and Vision. So she is next on my to-do list so that we can max out his crit damage. And with that said, let's get into some content and see what old Frank can do as the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Our first order of business in our war journal is going to be Proxima Midnight. Proxima Midnight is a very unique fight for Cosmic Ghost Rider in that she can pull him out of his iframes quite literally all the time during any of her attacks. So you have to be very swift and very meticulous with your rotation. So she can catch him off guard quite a bit. So taking her to 60 or even 70, I would say, is not optimal for Punisher, but he's very comfortable in the 50 range with her, which is not bad. That's a far jump from where Punisher was before. But he can definitely do 60. I have completed some 60 runs with him, but they are time consuming. The team we are working with is going to be Frankie Boy in the lead, as he gives himself a 24% increase to all attacks. He also has a self buff on his uniform that gives him 50% damage done to all enemies in the game. Frank is a solo guy, so that is not applying to other allies. We're going to be running with an Ebony Maw with an insight in this one, because most of the time I don't find a use for Ebony Maw as a support against Proxima. So it's good that he finally found a home. And I want to refrain from using Ghost Panther with Punisher, because I always put Ghost Panther with Namor. So Punisher is learning to use different supports for the time being. So that is why we're not using Ghost Panther. The strikers are going to be led by the main queen bitch herself, Weapon Hex. She synergizes with Punisher because Punisher has a 50% native all defense down that applies instantly on his 4 skill. So if you can time your rotation well enough, you can get the 100% all defense down very efficiently with Punisher. Everything else in the team is very typical of my teams, with Thanos, Red Skull, and we have Venom for healing, with Odin for the command striker reduction on the co-op button. So let's begin. So here we are at Proxima. We're going to start this off with 3 into 4. You don't want to cancel 3 because you want Punisher to take hits as often as he can, so that you can buff up to the maximum accumulation of attack that his 3 gives him, which functions as Sharon Rogers' does, which gives him like 200% damage if you get the full accumulation. So the focus is always to wait for her to attack, and just as she's attacking, pop 3 and then 3 into 4. The rotation with her is a little different than his optimal rotation because of the fact that she's always pulling him out of iframes. So you're having to act a lot quicker than I'm having to act a lot quicker than I'm comfortable doing. So you'll see later on a later run what I mean by his optimal rotation. The clear here is almost over. It simply focused around 3, 4, 5, and it all boils down to the damage accumulation. Now here we get to see Punisher really in his element, using his optimal rotation, which is 3, 2, 4, 5. The 3-2 allows Punisher to stay in place long enough to accumulate enough damage to get the full force of his 4. So we're going to do that again here, and again, just maniacal burst. The problem with Punisher is that once he goes into his 5, it's very hard for him to escape. So here again, we're going to run up to him, 3, accumulate the damage, 4 into 5, and my man is melting inside a lava geyser. And that's all she wrote. Now I have something special planned for the next run. We are going to push Punisher even further. You're really going to get the chance here to see his optimal rotation in action because we are rocking a stage 70 Corvus Glaive. Definitely not something many characters can do. And should Punisher clear it, it would place him as a low meta, a bottom meta for Corvus Glaive, which puts him alongside characters like Quicksilver. Not bad. That's such a huge jump in viability for Punisher from where he used to be, where he was just lingering in obscurity. So the focus is again on taking hits, then 2, then 4, then 5. And it may seem like 5's not doing damage. It's because Corvus has a tendency to actually not hit you. It seems like he only wants to crowd control you, bleed you, and then hit you. But once he finally does decide to hit you, you will see the huge damage come out. We are moving through this. That is a very competitive first phase clear for a base level 70 character. This is a non-native. This is a no tier 3 character, just fresh out the box with the Cosmic Ghost Rider uniform, and he's lighting Corvus up. Corvus is tricky though this high because of the fact that he does have some very annoying iframes, and his bleed attacks can be very disruptive. So you do have to pick your spots very carefully with Punisher this high. But should you do that correctly, Punisher absolutely obliterates Corvus Glaive. This is tremendous for especially a free-to-play, that you can get a meta Corvus clear for such a cheap price is astounding to me. And he's not even a tier 3. So he's really something beautiful to behold. We're almost dead here, but Punisher with the clutch heal comes back from the brink of death. I honestly think Punisher should definitely have a revive with this uniform, but you know, maybe in the mid-month patch that they're going to release, maybe they'll look into some of Punisher's defensive shortcomings. But his offense is off the charts. It really is off the charts. It's just surviving that is the issue. Corvus definitely making me work for every single burst of damage I get, but that is just how Punisher is going to be played if you want to push him high. If he's working the 50s and such, he's more comfortable there. So you don't have to go this high. I just wanted to do this to illustrate his rotation so people could better understand what he's doing, because on the 50 stages everything's over so quickly. So this gives you a really good depiction of what's going on, even though so much is going on. And yeah, here we go. Punisher clearing stage 70 Corvus Glaive, competitive with the Quicksilvers of the game. So, Punisher as the Cosmic Ghost Rider has climbed out of the depths of hell and towards a ladder of prominence. A soft meta, a low meta, whatever you want to call him. That is such a ridiculous leap from obscurity in comparison to where he was before. And before I end the video, I wanted to better demonstrate and practice what his rotation looks like. without so much going on. So we're going to hit them, and right as you take a hit, you're going to go 3, hold the 3, don't cancel, 3, 2, 4. We're going to keep doing that. Hold the 3, don't cancel it, and then into 5. So let's look at that again. We're going to go 3, don't cancel. With attack speed, this is a much more fluid rotation, as you saw earlier rather. But even with the attack speed as slow as it is right here, it still gives you quite a good bird's eye view of the rotation. You almost never use 1 unless you need an emergency iframe, because 1 is an instant iframe. But as most of his iframes are, it's only a partial iframe. As he lands, he is out of iframe. So it's sketchy to use. So let's go over the rotation one more time. 3, let all the chains come out. 2, 4, 5. And that's the rotation you saw against Corvus Glaive. 50 and 70. With Proxima, we're so on edge against her that we only use 3, 4, 5 because I'm just not very comfortable yet fighting her when she's always pulling me out of my iframes. So we'll do that again. 3, 4, and 5. And with that, we are going to wrap up the video. I was so excited to push this video out. I couldn't wait a week. Most of my videos, usually, I wait a week. I let my prior video marinate, so to speak, and get as many views as it can before I jump to my next project. But for Punisher here, and while the iron is hot, I needed to strike while the iron is hot, while there isn't a lot of content out there of him, so that I could be the first one, or one of the first people, to demonstrate how he is properly played. I will cover his ABX in a later video, his ABX feats in a later video, but in this one, this video mostly serves to demonstrate how he is played. So I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you for supporting me. Please feel free to leave feedback, both negative and positive. They're all very integral to me growing as a content creator. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe. And yeah, as always, I've always got more content in mind. You will see me again very soon. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.